Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here in an audience and online. It is 6:36. We would like to call the March 19, 2024 City Council meeting to order. The GoToWebinar transcripts of the City Council meetings are available upon request after the City Council meeting. For real-time transcription, please visit your Apple app or Google Play Store and download services such as Live Transcribe or Live Caption. The public is encouraged to join the meeting online or by phone at the number printed on the agenda, which can be found on the city's website at www.diamondbarca.gov, or in person at the main auditorium in South Coast Air Quality Management District. We have also allowed public comments to be submitted in advance to the city clerk. If any were received, they will be noted for the record, and when we get to the public comment period. This meeting is being recorded, and by participating, you are giving your permission to be televised. This meeting will be rebroadcast every Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. and alternate Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and archived for viewing on the city's website at www.diamondbarca.gov. And we will now proceed to the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. Paul Wright.
Would you join me as we salute the flag of our country? Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Paul. And please remain standing for the invocation by Cantor Paul A. Bush of the Temple Beth of Israel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, city staff, and fellow citizens. Before I begin the invocation, I just want to acknowledge the awesomeness of this moment in the calendars of so many, if not most, of the faith communities in our area. It's, of course, coming up on Holy Week for Christians. We're in the midst of Ramadan for Muslims. The Persian New Year, Nowruz, is upon us. And as we in the Jewish community approach our festival of Purim, we also look forward towards the Passover, which occurs in 1 month. So my prayer for all of us is that this be a time when we can move closer to peace and wholeness and true respect and understanding of each other. God of holiness, we hear your message. Justice, justice shall you pursue. God of freedom, we hear your charge. Proclaim liberty throughout the land. Holy One, inspire us through your teachings and commandments to love and uphold our precious democracy. Let every citizen take responsibility for the rights and freedoms we cherish. Let each of us be an advocate for justice, an activist for liberty, a defender of dignity, and let us champion the values that make our nation a haven for the persecuted and a beacon of hope among the nations. We pray for courage and conscience as we aim to support our country's highest values and aspirations, the hard-won rights that define us as a people, the responsibilities that they entail. We pray for all who serve our country with selfless devotion in peace and in war, from fields of battle to clinics and classrooms, from government to the grassroots, all those whose noble deeds and sacrifices benefit our nation and our world. We are grateful for the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our founders attributed to you, our Creator. We pray for their wisdom and moral strength, that we may be guardians of these rights for ourselves and for the sake of all people, now and forever. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Please be seated. City Clerk Santana, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Chow?
Here.
Councilmember Lowe?
Here.
Councilmember Tai?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Tang?
Here.
Mayor Liu?
Here. Thank you. City Manager Fox, are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda this evening?
Thank you, Mr. Fox. The agenda is hereby approved. And we have a very special presentation today, a city tile for Mr. Paul Wright. If my colleague can join me on the floor. Thank you, Paul. Wow, Paul, what can we say? It's Paul is our production administrator. He's here all the time and make things look very, very easy for us and making sure. And when things go bad, then he fixes it very, very quickly. Thank you, Paul. And Paul, in recognition of your dedicated service to the city of Diamond Bar through the QMD in April of 1989 to, well, you're retiring, huh? Wow, Paul, we're gonna miss you. You've been amazing. Thank you so much. And personally, when I was elected into office, we were at the Windmill Room, and then when I first came in here, I was all in all, and walking in here, and things just magically happened, and with the mics and the transmission on the TVs and all that, that's all you. Thank you so much. And I'll hand it over to my colleagues and to share with a couple comments.
Thank you, Mayor. Paul, 32 years? That's a long time. I was born already, but that's a long time. So thank you for your dedicated service to our city. We couldn't have done this without you. I know I've been on council for about 5 years now, and every time you just show up to work and make things look easy, and you always bring a smile. So really appreciate the work. And don't be a stranger when you retire. Come around, I'm sure, and come to find out that it takes 2 new people to replace one of him. So that tells you how much he does for us. So thank you, Paul, for your dedicated service.
Paul, I first came to the city meeting around 2014 as a public. Yeah, you remember that? You were there. You were conducting all the public talking. So I remember you since then. And now I congratulate you to serve the city for 32 years and wish you the best for your retirement. Thank you.
Paul, aren't you kind of young to retire, honestly?
Thank you.
We go way back, actually. I remember you from the days when I sat on Planning Commission, and it was we had a lot of fun doing those meetings, and really you just made everything go, and I really appreciate having you there, and you're always very, very supportive and really quite fun to be part of our meeting. So congratulations on your retirement, and really have a great time with retirement. Enjoy whatever it is that you want to do. The next chapter is even more exciting than the one that you're exiting. Congratulations.
Oh, the stories I could tell. Yes. Just thinking of the faces you would make and the signals and so on. We go back to 1997 and the Planning Commission, and you've done an exemplary job. You always made us, like the mayor said, that you're always there to fix things, and we appreciate that. And I realized that when you were born, they broke the mold, and they beat the crap out of the mold maker. So we're grateful for everything that you've done for us. We're grateful for your service to us within this area, and I wish you the very, very best, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So, Paul, I have a little bit of thing to add. You know, you always have service with a smile, and that that kind of confident, things will be okay kind of thing. And then I see you have an even bigger smile when you're helping out nonprofits, such as one Saturday morning I show up and then in the nonprofit organization, and then there's Paul. I'm like, Paul, what are you doing here? He just looks at me with a huge smile. Thank you so much. Well, on behalf of our city, it is a great honor to present you with this tile.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so get a photo.
Yeah, if I could, yeah.
Oh, here you go. If I get the most important person here. Okay, here you go. Paul.
It's his microphone.
Just a quick remembrance. I was looking at the holidays. I came across an old picture of the Planning Commission and you, and God bless him, Steve Nelson, Dan Nolan, Jack Tanaka, some people that aren't with us anymore. We're standing right there. We took a picture. Jim was planning director then. And seeing how so many of you got elevated to the council. Ruth, I remember meeting you when you came on the Planning Commission. But a story that really dates me is that when Jim was director of the planning director, this had to be 93 or 94 when our meetings went to often 11:30, 12 at night, every single night on Tuesdays. And Jim said, I need to do a stand-up down in the south part of town on a Saturday. And we were on VHS back then. And I said, yeah, I've got a VHS camera. And he said, great. And we didn't even have cell phones then. We had pagers, beepers. And my mom was in the hospital at the time. He said, no problem. If you get paged, you can just take off and go. And I remember we were down there, and when we got there, it was for the development code. And he said, no problem, Paul. If you get paged, then Mayor Gary Warner lived right around the corner. He said you could just hop into his house and you can make the call from there. No, there were no cell phones then. That's how long I've been with the city. But it's been truly a joy and a privilege to work here. And I live in Orange County, but I really feel more connected to LA politics. I grew up in Long Beach, and working here with you folks for 32 years has got me back into the LA politics scene. And I've truly enjoyed meeting and working with all of the council, all of the council members here. And you're right, it's great interacting with the community groups. And as I told that story about taking my son to the Laura Bear Park, he needed some credits for PE. And we went down for the breast cancer Susan G. Komen walk one day, and there was Jack and Wanda Tanaka to greet us and said, let me get your son set up for some points. And so many, many great memories, and thank you. It's been my honor and privilege to serve and work with you.
All right. Mr. Paul Wright, ladies and gentlemen.
Just so you know, we've never seen a picture she's taken.
Any more?
Good. All right, thank you so much. And so we will move on to City Manager reports. City Manager Fox, are there any reports?
No additional reports this evening?
Thank you, sir. And public comment. Public comment is the time reserved on each regular meeting agenda to provide an opportunity to members of the public to directly address the council on consent calendar items or other items of interest, not to the agenda, but that are within the subject jurisdiction, matter jurisdiction of the council. Although the council values your comments, Pursuant to the Brown Act, members of the City Council or staff may briefly respond to public comments if necessary, but no extended discussion and no actions on such matters may take place. There is a 5-minute maximum time limit when addressing the City Council. At this time, I will call up speakers who have submitted speaker cards first, and then City Clerk Santana will ask those callers joining on the teleconference who may wish to speak under public comments. And I have received speaker cards, and I will go with first card I have. It is Ms. Cynthia Yu of the Diamond Bar Library. Ms. Cynthia Yu, floor is yours.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, city staff, and members of the audience. My name is Cynthia Yu from Diamond Bar Library. Please join us to welcome spring by creating your own flower press. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., you'll learn about the basics of flower pressing, then make your own flower press out of recycled materials. All supplies will be provided to start you on your flower pressing journey. The program is for adults. Also join us on Wednesday, March 20th at 4:30 for a light-up origami workshop. Combining the Japanese art of paper folding and the science of LEDs, light-up origami is your chance to showcase your artistic and scientific skills in one beautiful work of art. This program is for ages 5 to 12 with parent or caregiver. Do you need crochet, weave, or otherwise craft with yarn? If you love creating fiber art, join us on Thursday, March 21st at 11 a.m. You'll meet fellow young crafters, unwind as you work on your projects, ask questions, get inspired, and just enjoy crafting in a group. Also on March 21st at 4 p.m., please come to the library and exercise your creative muscles. Children aged 5 to 12 will learn about Moroccan designs and make a colorful Moroccan motif mirror to take home. All materials will be provided. All LA County Library locations will be closed Monday, March 25th in observance of Cesar Chavez Day. We are always open online. Please get ebooks, audiobooks, movies, and music, and more at lacountylibrary.org. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Yu. Library is awesome. The next we have Mr. Aziz Amari of the Regional Chamber of Commerce.
Honorable Mayor Yu, City Council members, and city staff and the citizens present here today, good evening. The National Day of Prayer is an annual day of observance designated by the United States Congress and held on the first Thursday of May, when people are asked, quote, to turn to God in prayer and meditation, unquote. The President of the United States is required by law to sign a proclamation each year encouraging all Americans to pray on this day. The Regional Chamber of Commerce San Gabriel Valley, in honor of this proclamation, organized Mayor's Prayer Breakfast for several years, but we were in hiatus for the last few years due to COVID-19. At the request of Councilmember Ruth Lowe to the Chamber to resume the breakfast event, I met with the city staff and our mayor to explore the possibility of resuming this event. We are pleased to announce that with the support of Assistant City Manager Ryan McLean and the mayor, on Thursday, May 2nd, the annual Mayor's Breakfast will resume at the newly renovated Diamond Bar Golf Course. What a way to reopen the golf course after so many years with such a significant and traditional event. The theme of this interfaith event this year is prayer, reflection, and practice of mindfulness as a civic duty. Our keynote speaker will be our own Honorable Mayor Liu. Please visit the Regional Chamber San Gabriel Valley.com events for more information and registration. We would love to see you all on that significant day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. Okay, and next we have Darsha Mehta.
City Mayor, council members, and all the citizens, good evening. I have a request for the Diamond Bar City Ride Service. Right now, City Service offers ride to Pomona Valley Hospital, St. Jude Medical Center, but not the Kaiser in Baldwin Park. So many citizens of Diamond Bar has requested, but nothing is getting done. Even with my walker with the surgery, I am here to request that. See, where I live in Diamond Bar, St. Jude Hospital is 12 miles. Pomona Valley is 10 miles. And Kaiser is 13 miles. Why Kaiser is not covered? We have been paying taxes in city of Diamond Bar last 40 years. Why we cannot have Kaiser under this program? So many of people has requested, came to Diamond Bar City Hall and everything, but nothing is getting done. I had my right knee surgery, and right now I have to get people's obligation to drive me to Kaiser. So I have a request, please work on this. I have talked to Matthew in Diamond Bar office so many times. He told me we can only renew the contract in the month of June. So June is coming now. So please consider this. I have again left knee surgery coming too, and I will need the help. So anything as a citizen I can do, let me know. But we need help in this direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have our next speaker, Mr. Johnny Wang.
Hi, Mayor. Hi, City Council, and everyone. I'm here for the homeless shelter issues. I wanted to say that last week when the City of Industry have the public hearing, I found on the night before the hearing, and I started calling my neighbors, and then none of them know. And then I started reaching out to my friends that live in City of Industry, City of Diamond Bars and City of Warner. And surprisingly, no one knew about it. So I went to the hearing, and then I've been living here for 23 years. So this is my home, and this is my community. And I went to the public hearing, and then the staff start asking, once we start checking in, they ask, what's the reason for you to be here? And I say, well, there's a public hearing for the issues on the zone, I think zone changing, and then the homeless shelter issues. And the first thing he told me is, there's none, so you don't really have to stay. And I say, well, since I'm here, I chose to sit here and know what's going on. And then, of course, they started saying that there's nothing being planned, nothing in agenda. And then, but the zoning, I believe, is changed, I believe, already. And then again, we stay for, I believe, 2 hours. And then toward the end, the council members start saying, okay, and that's it for these topics. And then, of course, residents start leaving. I stay all the way till the end. And then toward the end, they did say if we have something on the agenda, we will mail the notice to 300 feet near that piece of the land. I just found it a little ridiculous because on the other side of that land is freeways. And what is 300 feet? You can't even cover a home run fence if you play baseball. So 300 feet is what, 30 residents, 40 residents? And since we all live here and we build a community together, and I just think everything should be transparent, everything, all the city of Diamond Bar's residents, all the residents in city of Walnut should be notified and understand the situations. Nothing should be sneaky, nothing should be, backdoor and put all this stuff, just went right through it. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next,
Mayor, can I say one more thing, please?
sure.
City of Walnut takes to Kaiser Hospital in $3.50 in the right service. My house used to be in City of Walnut until City of Diamond Bar got incorporated. So other side of railway crossing of the Valley Boulevard went in the City of Diamond Bar. So right now I am in City of Diamond Bar. If I would have been in Walnut, I would have been going with them with $3.50 to Kaiser. So if City of Walnut can offer this benefit, why not City of Diamond Bar? Please, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And next we have Mary Sarabia.
Hello. My name is Mari Saravia. This is very cool but intimidating at the same time. It's kind of scary, but cool. My name is Mari Saravia. I'm here on behalf of my family and many residents here. And we are here to seek your assistance. There is something going on Walnut Drive South and Flinkgate Drive. This is a street that has an west entrance and ends at a dead end on the east side. This is a piece of land that is nudged between the freeway, City of Walnut, and City of Diamond Bar. And it's very tricky because City of Industry is counting it as part of the city, but it's really over here with us. And this is a special street because from one end of it, the entrance side, you have a hotel, you have a city parking for utility vehicles, you have a extra space storage facility, you have a commercial building there already on the one side of the street. And that leads into the spot, and then more housing, and then a wall. On the other side, from the west entrance, it's a golf course that I believe is going to be destroyed because they're going to put more homes. And so the street is not really a street. It doesn't have sidewalks. It doesn't have light posts. And then it's from the entrance, you got the golf course, and then it's houses all the way to the end of the street. They've wanted to put a warehouse. They've wanted to put a ridiculous amount of apartment units there, housing, and there's no space. We are willing to work with them, but we need your help. We need for you guys to know that this is happening, and we would like, we have solutions. One thing I was sharing with my family, we were praying last night, and in our prayer, I thanked God because we were able to go to City of Industry, and the assistant city manager sat down with my husband and I, and we spoke about what was happening. He explained the zoning code stuff and everything that, well, not everything, some of their thoughts, how they feel about what they want there. And he said he agrees with us, but it's verbal. What I read is very different than the verbal that I'm getting. And I'm here to ask you guys to help us. The prayer we were sharing. Because we're wanting to work with them, and they saw that we're willing to listen and work with them, we were able to speak that day. But we only get up to a certain understanding, up to a certain point, and then we're in different paths. So we would love for Mr. Mayor, for you to please make yourself available to sit down with some of our residents and your staff and let us express what's happening and see how you can help us, how you can walk with us, what you can suggest, who we go to. There's options like leasing the land to the City of Industry owner, property owner that's already there. If we can have like an open night where we learn how to read these public hearing notices that all look the same, that have so many numbers and words that we don't use every day, it's hard to understand. Maybe you guys are willing to buy that land and we can get them out and we can put a park there. And also, if that were to belong to us, then you guys get more votes. So I have a letter that we wrote, and it has everybody's signatures. It has the ordinances that we're questioning, and I would like to submit this and maybe have you guys, somebody contact us back, or we're going to be giving this letter also to the City of Walnut, and I have given it to City of Industry. So we're hoping that we can come together and fight not as different cities, but as human beings, as families. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I submit this?
Mr. Fox, what do you? Thank you so much. And our next speaker, we have Diana Sharafa.
City Mayor, council members, and citizens, good evening. This is my first time doing this, so I feel you. I am here for the same topic, the possible homeless shelter that might be built on Walnut and Calburn. I'm a recent citizen of Diamond Bar. It's been less than 2 months that my husband and I bought a house on Calburn. A month later, I receive a letter that there is possibly a homeless shelter that will be built. My question is actually for Council Andrew Hsu. You have been amazing with me. I'm a part of the Diamond Bar Facebook group, and you welcomed me. And you actually gave me a big sigh of relief when you confirmed that that news is not true. What I would like to know is the truth. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Diamond Bar. Okay. Thank you for that. And we have, this is Milton Nee. You. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Miltini Yi, and thank you for giving us an audience, Honorable Mayor and council people. As a Diamond Bar citizen, we want to know what we can do about the City of Industry's amendment to rezone that area that abuts right up to our neighborhood on Flintgate. As a Diamond Bar citizen, the City of Industry is not within our jurisdiction. So it doesn't matter what we say to them, they don't owe us anything. So we thought we should come back to our own city, our own city people, and ask you, what can you and we do about the upcoming catastrophe of a major change in our neighborhood. Having transient housing and homeless shelters will completely change our quiet neighborhood that we all bought houses in because we wanted to live in Diamond Bar. Little did we know that it is, on the border of this property. This is really a border problem, and we would like to know what we can do, and we just beg you to help us because we can't do this alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yee. Okay, and we have Ms. Shelley Gentry. Ms. Shelley Gentry.
I just know that you guys, nobody's sicker of me being here than me. I know you guys see me all the time. But again, now we have another issue. So let me try to clarify. At the end of Calborn, there's a strip of land, 3.8 acres, that's actually owned by the City of Industry. It's not owned by Diamond Bar, and it's not an unincorporated area of LA County. So recently, City of Industry sent out, posted a notice that was almost impossible to read, which got people's attention when they did see it, because now they feel like they're being bamboozled. And they're changing the zoning. I guess this is some kind of state mandated change that talks about the land possibly being used as a homeless shelter or a low barrier navigation center, which is the same thing as a homeless shelter, but just a fancy name. And so they're changing the zoning, and that's gotten people's attention. And now people are fearful that they're going to end up building a homeless shelter there. And this is on the hills of the Gulf situation we've been going through, which I've come many times before you guys to talk about the situation with the golf course, where it's going to be a park, but people have low fences. And I mean, putting a homeless shelter there would be a disaster, especially if you're going to put parks and trails somewhere, because where do you think these people are going to eventually go? And I'm not against homeless people at all, don't get me wrong, but I think in the middle of a neighborhood is probably not the best spot for them. They need to be put closer to resources that can help them, closer to hospitals, closer to facilities where they can get the help that they need. And in the middle of, this little 3.8 strip, in the middle of a residential area is not the proper environment for them. So we don't have any, it's the same scenario with the golf course. That's an unincorporated area of LA County. We have no control over it. This little strip in our neighborhood, 3.8 acres, is owned by City of Industry. They have no citizens, basically, and we have no say. So we have no recourse but to come to the City of Diamond Bar and ask for help and advice about what we should do. I mean, I'm kind of sad that this little strip of land wasn't annexed by Diamond Bar years ago when they annexed our neighborhood. It's just unfortunate that it happened that way. But these residents haven't had peace in 3 years. First, it's the terminal of the golf course, and now it's the zoning change that, from what I'm hearing, is state mandated, that also takes away our CEQA right. So, okay, so they want the zoning to be changed, and it talks about emergency homeless shelters, and they're exempt from CEQA. So we can't even come in and use CEQA to protect us, to say, hey, you have to consider the environment in which you're putting this homeless shelter, possibly, into the environment where, where it's going to affect neighbors. So although City of Industry does not have a homeless project on the books, they don't have one that they're thinking about doing next week or the week after, they are changing that zoning. And as long as they change that zoning, then that opens it up for that to eventually happen. And that's a problem, because in my neighborhood, we have not had any peace for almost 3 years. We've been, it's ongoing situation with the golf course, crowding, traffic, and now this, on top of this, a possible homeless shelter, which, like I said, they don't have planned. But why are they changing the zoning then? I realize it's a California requirement, but once you change that zoning, you're opening it up to that happening. So yeah, it's not planned today, it's not planned tomorrow, it's not planned next week, but once that zoning is changed, It could happen sometime in the near future, and we will have nothing more to be said about it. I mean, it's really sad what's happened to this neighborhood. And these are probably some of the more modest homes in the city of Diamond Bar. We don't live in a gated community. We don't have the money to fight this otherwise. So we're really just coming to let you know, advise you what's happening, and try to partner with you to get whatever help from you that we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gentry. And that's all the speaker cards I have from our in-person audience. If you'd like to address the council, please submit a speaker card. And City Clerk Santana, were there any public comment emails that received?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we did receive 2 public comment emails from Amy Wu and from Debbie Bell. Both of those emails were forwarded to the City Council, and they were printed and placed at the entrance of this auditorium for public viewing. And at this time, if any member of the public joining this teleconference would like to provide a public comment, please click on the raised hand icon in the GoToWebinar program. And there are no hands raised, Mayor.
Thank you. If there's anyone else in the live audience, in the person audience would like to address the council, please speak now. And before we close public comment, Mr. Fox, is there something or some comment that we can?
Yes,
help
thank
with?
you, Mayor and Council. Just to respond to the City of Industry zone change proposals, we became aware of those. Councilmember Chow forwarded me the copy of the article that was in the Chinese press. I immediately contacted my colleague over at City of Industry to find out what was going on. He assured me that there is no homeless shelter being proposed on the site that they own at that location. They are going through the zoning code amendments, as was just recently mentioned, that are mandated by state law and our housing elements to provide for such facilities, but that does not mean that they will be built. And we will continue to monitor the situation and work with the residents and the City of Industry if there are any development proposals, for that particular site. They had a workforce housing proposal a couple of years ago. I don't know to what extent, if they're going to try to re-look at that or do something similar. But again, there is no homeless shelter that is being proposed. These are state mandated amendments that all the cities up and down the state are going to be dealing with, including us, some of which we've already done, and some of which we are going to need to do in the near future. Hope that helps.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. One of the questions on there was we can help better understand what the language means. Is there such thing that, like an educational thing that we can do to look at what notice or what the language means on such modifications and so?
Certainly, and we'd be more than happy to speak with the residents. We'll ask our Community Development Director, Greg Gubman, who's most familiar with the entitlement process and is in communication with the county as well, on the Royal Vista course, as well as City of Industry. We'll make sure that he reaches out and at least provides the contact information and answer any questions that they may have.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. And okay, so once again, do we have a hand raise? Please introduce yourself and your name. One second, please, ma'am. Here we go. Yep, you're live.
Good evening, Mayor and councilors and everybody here for today's evening hearing. So my name is Judy. I'm a resident of the Diamond Bar. So I would like to say thank you, Mr. Paul. You served Diamond Bar for over 30 years, but you made our community, the life easier. You should stay for longer. See, you retire, our life more difficult. Okay, so because you that means all the neighbor already provide all the detail. So I would like to bring on the one point. I know the governor, they have the project for the help the homeless. We are happy to help, but the major, he said, maybe California need to get the 10,000 of the vacant land to focus on the homeless shelter. But the last time we went to the city industry hearing, because the Mr. Bean, the assistant of the manager, then he tried to convince us to leave the hearing because he said nothing happened. Nothing, all the article posted in the Chinese newspaper or the whatever, the English, the news, he told us that is totally wrong. The same answer lie our council, Mr. Andrew Cho, at the time, the first time, Diana posted the problem, he said that is not correct. So we totally would happy hear what is the exactly correct story from Mr. Cho, okay? So I know the governors who try to help our community, the homeless is have the more, better life. We totally understand. Otherwise, we don't vote on yes to help homeless, right? But the major is that vacant land is not the right place for the homeless shelter, because the assistant of the manager keep saying that we don't have a choice. We do have a choice, but he tried to confuse us. Don't take our rights away, because the vacant land had a choice. Whatever which piece vacant land you're going to do such thing, depend on the Diamond Bar how to make the decision. If they going to change the zone, do something, plan on it, but they sneak in, like to use the back door to lie to our face. That is not honest to our property. So also, the zone change because we do have a choice, because we don't receive any court order for specifically point out this vacant land must use for the homeless shelter. That is the main point here. So here I also very appreciate our mayor, Mr. Liu. I know you do a lot of work to keep our community safety. I can see all this year. We really appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so is there anyone else that would like to address the council? Is there anyone else online, Ms. Santana? Okay, so seeing none, we will now close public comments and move on to the schedule of future events. City Manager Fox, can you please announce the schedule of upcoming events and then proceed to the consent calendar?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. There will be a free catalytic converter etching event tomorrow morning from 9 to 11 a.m. at Calvary Chapel on Golden Springs. And Coffee with a Cop will be held on Saturday morning, March 23rd from 8 to 10 a.m. at Reborn Coffee in the Walmart Market Center at the corner of Diamond Bar Boulevard and Grand. There will be a joint City Council Planning Commission meeting on Tuesday, March 26th, starting at 5 p.m. in the Windmill Community Room at City Hall. And the regular Planning Commission meeting will follow that evening, starting at 6:30 p.m. A public safety seminar will be held on Wednesday evening, March 27th, starting at 6 p.m. at Lord Bear Middle School. The Parks and Recreation Commission will be meeting on Thursday, March 28th, starting at 6:30 p.m. in the Windmill Community Room. The Breakfast with the Bunny event is sold out. And our next City Council meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 2nd, starting at 6:30 p.m. here in the AQMD Auditorium. On the consent calendar this evening, you have approval of the March 5th regular meeting minutes, ratification of the check register dated February 28th through March 12th, approval of the treasurer's statement for February 2024, approval of the 2023 Housing Element Progress Report for filing with the State Department of Housing and Community Development and the Office of Planning and Research, approval of the 2023 General Plan Status Report for filing with the State Department of Housing and Community Development and the Office of Planning and Research, Approval of a new special revenue fund to account for permanent local housing allocation grant funds and establish a budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year 23-24, and a determination that this action is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, and approval of approval of a purchase order to Advanced Office Inc. for the purchase of 2 new Ricoh copiers, including an appropriation from the Technology Reserve Fund to the Equipment Maintenance and Replacement Fund. And that concludes the consent calendar for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Would any of our colleagues like to put anything from items for discussion? And seeing none, would someone would like
I'll make
to?
a motion for approval.
A motion for approval by Councilmember Chow,
I'll second.
and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Tan. And City Clerk Santana, please call for a vote.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Chow?
Yes.
Councilmember Lowe?
I vote yes, except I would abstain as to item number 5.1. Thank you.
Councilmember Tai?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tang?
Yes.
Mayor Liu?
Yes. And then public hearing items, there are none. And City Council consideration, none. And now we'll move on to City Council subcommittee reports and meeting attendance. And we will start with Councilmember Andrew Chow.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, want to congratulate Paul on your 32 years of distinguished service to the city. Wish you all the best. Wanted to invite everyone to the, our Senator Archuleta is hosting a Woman of the Year Award this Saturday at 10 o'clock at the Diamond Bar Center. I think that's, I believe at the RSVP, so please check with the office of Senator Archuleta before showing up. And that's all I have, so thank you. With that, I'll say goodnight.
Thank you, Councilmember Chow. And Councilmember Ruth Lowe.
Thank you, Mayor. I just also want to congratulate Paul on your retirement. Congratulations. I also want to congratulate our staff for receiving the coveted Government Finance Officers Association Budget Award. Then you guys got we got a special recognition for our budget preparation. So congratulations for that great work and for the award. We always hear that that our residents are looking for transparency. Well, this is an example of transparency that the city does every day, is to provide information as to our residents, and not only to provide it, but to provide it in an understandable form. So I just want to give our staff great kudos for that effort, and congratulations, and keep up the good work. And special recognition to Assistant City Manager Mr. Ryan McLean and Finance Director Mr. Jacob Jacobson. Last night, we attended the town hall meeting regarding the 5760 Confluence Project. I want to thank the mayor for his leadership in putting this together. We had a really good turnout, and I just want to say that I gained some new insight as a result of that meeting, so I'm really grateful that that we put that together. And I hope, was videotaped, right? Was that available? Do we know? It was not.
No, the city did not videotape that.
Okay.
We do have some pictures for events and stuff, but that was not videotaped.
Okay, great. Well, if we do have lots of information, if anybody's interested in the 5760 Confluence Project. Big project. It's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of patience on behalf of our residents, but then the result will be great. I was so pleased that Cantor Bush announced that this is such a festive season. Nowruz, which is the Persian New Year, Ramadan, there's the spring equinox, Purim, which is leads into Passover for our Jewish neighbors, and then the Christian neighbors Christian friends and neighbors are celebrating Easter, Good Friday, actually Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and then Easter. So that's really a great thing. Also, join us for celebrating April 6th, which is the city birthday party, and that we will celebrate that for 35 years. So hope that you can all enjoy us for that occasion and enjoy the rest of the celebrations at the end of the month. With that, I'll say goodnight.
Thank you, Councilmember Lowe. And Councilmember Sitai.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, Paul, it's all about you tonight. Congratulations on 32 years, a job well done. And it seems like, I'm sure, not that long ago that you sat here the first time and screwed things up as much as you could and then straightened them out. I would just say, well done, good and faithful servant. You've done a great job. I hope folks will remember that Breakfast with the Bunny is March 30th from 9 to 11 at Grandview Ballroom at the Diamond Bar Center. Got to be there if you want to see the bunny. And then I would wish everybody a very, very happy and celebratory Easter on March 31st. Thank you. Good night and God bless you.
Thank you, Councilmember Tai, and the Mayor Pro Tem Chia Tan.
I was also in the 5760 conference meetings together with my council member colleagues and the mayors. And last night there was a lot of heated reaction from our residents. And together with tonight's audience feedback, I think the transparency is very important because the resident last night also demanded transparency from the from the construction company to from the management company to let them know what's going on because they don't get enough information. And one of the residents told me that during the planning stage of that 5760 freeway project 10 years ago, and the public hearing was sent out to about 1,000 feet around that project area, only to send to the resident within 1,000 feet in that area. And but just now that there's a resident mentioned the City of Industry Center notice for 600 feet around that next to the project area. So there are very limited numbers of neighbors and residents got a notice. And also, even those limited number of notice were probably not picked up by the residents. And even that the people last night say that they use a lot of social media, emails, and a lot of public forums to post the notification. That a lot of residents' reaction is that they didn't get it. So I think as a public agent, public servant, we have a lot to improve on how to make us more transparent and more better communication with our citizens, with our residents, to let everybody understand what's going on. So that I think we should work on that, and I hope that we will improve on that in the next few years. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to thank staff for today's meeting. Thank you so much. I'd like to congratulate Paul once again. We're going to miss you, Paul. I'd like to also congratulate the outgoing Miss Diamond Bar Court. Thank you for your service to the community and being ambassadors. And I'd like to also congratulate for all the Miss Diamond Bar Scholarship Pageant participants for the courage to participate in the scholarship pageant last week. And we've been experiencing quite a bit of erratic weather in Diamond Bar. I'd like to encourage everyone to check up on each other and please be safe. For example, yesterday we were at our house on toward the southern part of Diamond Bar. It was raining. It was the wind was very strong and even hail. So I drove here to the city hall. It was all sunny. So so from as one member of our residents said that joke that it's raining in my backyard, but it's not front yard. So it's interesting weather we're facing. So please be safe out there, and we look forward to seeing everyone at Breakfast with the Bunny. And before we adjourn tonight's meeting in memory of Diamond Bar Mayor Eileen Ansari, we would like to ask Councilmember Loh to share a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have last week we were notified that former Mayor Eileen Ansari passed away. Ms. Ansari was a really valued member of our community. She served as mayor during her time with City Council, and she was really quite a trailblazer and stood up for herself, women's rights, and many different causes. I believe she was a member of numerous civic organizations, numerous charity groups, and she was really especially noted for her generosity. She would always be the first one to write a check, first one to give a gift, and first one to participate. So her service to Diamond Bar is well remembered. So we will miss her. She'll be missed, and her service to the city is remembered.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Lowe. We will now adjourn the meeting at 7:37. Thank you so much, and good night.